Hey everybody, it is Molly with Friday Night with Molly, Senior Executive Unit Leader with Avon. Back on July 19th with some answers to some more questions that you guys have sent to me, and we're going to try to get to it now and make sure that you get some answers. Now look, I want you to keep in mind, as always, you know that when I'm giving answers to questions, this is not an Avon answer to question. This is not the consensus of some book. This is my answers according to my journey and my life with Avon, how I handle things. And the great thing about Avon is there's many ways that you can handle things. But what I hope to provide for you, just like with the conference calls and the Onward group and everything else, is to give you another way to look at how to deal with things. Keep in mind with some of these questions that people have submitted, people are at all different places in their business. Some of them are newbies, they've just come on, their length of association with Avon could be 1 through 6, one campaign through the 6th campaign, or maybe they haven't put in any orders yet. So some of the things that are coming to us, the one thing I'm going to remind you, don't ever forget where you came from. When people are asking you things, and sometimes it's so easy to go, that's such a stupid question. Well, maybe, but the point is, when you first started out, there's a lot you didn't know either. So you have to remember, look, one of the keys to being a good leader in this business is making sure that the questions are answered, or you are directing them to where they have to go to find the answers. It's all part of the bonding process with your team, okay? So we are going to get to this now. First question is from, who is this from here? Okay, it's from Adrian Searle. Love me some Adrian. Molly, you may have gone over this before, but wanted to put in this suggestion. Will you cover how you handle your Avon while on vacation? Like, do you tell your customers, etc.? And then how do you jump back in when you get back? How long does it take to catch up? Okay, well, Adrian, what I will tell you and everybody else is, obviously, according to where you are in your business, there can be all different answers to this, okay? For me, let's start with the customer part of it. I have 300 customers now, and I have a team of over 400 representatives. But remember, I didn't always have that. So a lot of what you find is a graduation process with what does it take to keep up with the customers. Last year we went to Alaska, and this year we went to Hawaii. Avon earned trips, which is great. Now, in the beginning, when I first started selling Avon, I could barely buy a Happy Meal, far less think of going on vacation, okay? So that didn't happen very often for me. But when I started earning these trips with Avon, things like that, you do have to think about what it is. So, I definitely have to keep in touch with my team and with my customers because, look, without them, I wouldn't even be going on some of these trips. So, with my customers, I'm a Rose Circle seller. I sell about $50,000 worth of Avon a year. You all already know that I use things like Campaign Mailer to get a lot of my far out books delivered. They actually mail the books to the customers. And I also use things like voice shots. I use a lot of labels when I need to get something to my customers and want them to really get it. And one of the things I started doing about a month out, besides talking about Hawaii this time all the way up to it, is to say, hey, I'm going to be gone. This label will say, orders from this brochure I need by this date, but deliveries will not be made until upon my return from Hawaii. That's a huge thing. You want communication. Also, I use a service called VoiceShot.com. VoiceShot, SHOT.com. A lot of you already know that too. And that is where I record my voice in a message for my customers, and then I decide when I want this message sent to my customers. Somebody answers live, they're going to get the message. If they don't and they have an answering service, they're going to get the message, which tells them, hey, this is Molly with Avon. Your campaign 16 order, I've got to put it in on such and such date. You have 2 days left to order. And then on those messages where I'm leaving my normal messages, what I do is I make sure that they know, hey, I'll be leaving for Hawaii, so you can leave your order with the campaign number, item number, what the product is, how much it is, or you can leave a message and I can contact you when I get back, or on a normal everyday basis when I get the message. So there's all different ways to do that, but for me, I try to make my customers as independent as I make my representatives, okay? That's the key to this thing, this independent representative thing. You want to try to get your customers used to how they know what you expect. You want them to know what you expect. It's kind of like my customers know, leave the campaign number, because the campaign number controls the price of the product. So if you want the best price, because I'm not looking it up in all the brochures, then you need to let me know what the campaign number is. So when you train them that way, then what happens is they just automatically learn. It's like training a dog where they can't go and where they can go. It's like giving your kids rules. It's no different. So then we talk about, let's see, my team. Well, my team knows, look, they all have their district managers, whether they be a good district manager or not. The point is, they are there, customer service is there. I'm lucky enough to have my EUL, Linda Staggers, that if I am away for a trip like that, if there's something so severe, an emergency, they could call her and she would take care of it. Not everybody has that. That came in my business later on, having someone like that. But the point is, they will get through it. Okay, they will get through it, because that's the only time when I go on these Avon trips that I absolutely put Avon aside completely. I don't look at downline manager for a week. I don't answer any calls from my customers when they call my 800 number to leave orders. I don't do all of that, because that is my one big break. Okay, coming back, getting back into the swing of things. This last trip, that was a little bit much. You know, I always give myself a couple of extra days. When I tell people I'm going away somewhere, I will always say, you know, if I'm really coming back on Friday, I'll say, well, you know, be back in the office on Monday if you need to talk to me. Because that way I can get myself back into gear. Because truthfully, look, you own your own business here. So it's up to you to be disciplined to know what you have to get back and do and what you don't. Because you are the mom and pop of your team. So for me, you know, normally if Lee and I are just going away a couple of days or something, I always have my computer or Lee's iPad or my phone with me. I can't imagine a time without Downline Manager normally. But what I love about that is sometimes when I am away, maybe going someplace with the family, I can get up in the morning, have my coffee, look at Downline Manager, figure out who's doing what, who's not doing what, shoot off some emails, whatever it may be, give myself a certain amount of time in the morning, take care of the iron that's hottest or the person who is screaming the loudest, and go on and not have to worry about it the rest of the day. I will tell you a big key to this, again, I cannot say it enough, is train your customers and your team to be independent. Yes, I know we always should have newbies coming in, but I raise them up to be independent sales reps. You know, sometimes if you don't answer somebody right away, if they call and leave a message, I used to be bad about jumping right back on, oh yeah, this is where you can find this, blah, 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 blah. And I realized I was not raising up an independent sales representative. I was raising up a dependent sales representative. You don't want those. It will drive you crazy. You don't want to be their boss. And if you want to be their boss, you're in the wrong business. Okay? If you want to be their boss, then go work for Target or somebody where they're going to give you that managerial appointment where you can be their boss. I don't want to be anybody's boss. I don't want that kind of responsibility. I want to show them how they can be successful in their business, and I want them to move on and learn how to find their own answers. You know what we call that? Coaching them. Coaching them in the way they should go, showing them how to find their own answers. Okay? So that is what I would encourage with that. And getting back into what you have to do and what you don't do when you get back, girl, that ain't nothing but pure discipline. I'd like to tell you there's some big secret for that, but there's not. Because when I came back from Hawaii, I said, oh, 2 days, I'm going to be back to work. Girl, I bet Lee and I were not right for a week when we got back from Hawaii. Okay, so the point is, you just have to do what's good for you in this business and realize that if you don't, and you don't get back to it the way you're supposed to, things suffer. They do. I did. Lee and I paid for that. We knew we had to get our bodies and all back in gear again, but being away from the business for that kind of time without any touch to it at all was not the best decision on my part. So again, a learning experience for me that I'm sharing with you, but there's a way to do it and you can work it into your life, and it just takes trial and error, because what is good for me, I don't have any little kids at home anymore. I have a couple of really cute dogs that I take care of, and I got Lee, but I don't have to worry what I had to worry about. When I first started Avon, my kids were still home. They're not now. So you have to figure out how to put that into your life, okay? And you will figure it out. It's trial and error, but you'll figure it out, okay? Next question comes from, let's see here, Megan Walker. Let's see here. Megan Walker says, Molly, what are some successful strategies for online marketing? I am slowly building a customer base, but I just don't have much luck online. I hear you, Megan. I hear you. Okay, look. Online business is great, and I have a pretty good online business now. I'm 9 years in, okay? When I first came in, this wasn't the big thing. Online business, online strategies wasn't huge. It took a lot for Lee to get me into this whole thing. I mean, what I'm doing now, the YouTube videos, really? I fought Lee on that. I'm not going to do that. Who wants to watch me on YouTube? What the heck? Don't they have better things to do? There are people who go and pay to see movies and go see YouTube. Why? Well, because some people like to hear from somebody who is shooting straight from the hip, okay? And that is what I do, and that's why. So what I would tell you is this. There are a lot of things out there you can use. You can use Twitter. I don't, but you can. Just Twitter is not for me, not something that I'm crazy about. I have a Twitter account, but I don't really use it. I use Pinterest, things about Avon, putting things on there. Do I get a whole lot of something from that? No, but the point is, it's out there. Sometimes you don't know what people are seeing or what is touching people or what you're saying about a product. The point is, you could be making a difference and you don't even know it yet, okay? Facebook, that's my big deal. Love Facebook. Use it for everything. My customers, to acquire new customers, to acquire new representatives. The Onward group, to train my team. I have another group for my team that's just for them too. I use this to get into other groups and to talk to other SEULs and EULs with Avon or top sellers. There is a basket making class that I know Milagros is a part of out there that is huge, and I tiptoe in there from time to time when I need some stuff. Strategy as far as this is, look, it's like anything else. What makes you a good representative in this business? You just keep at it. That is what it's about. Let me tell you what keeping at it has gotten for me. Okay, so here I am doing YouTube videos, trying to train up as many independent sales representatives as we can and help people in sales and leadership. I also have a recruiting video that's out there that is the first thing you see when you go to my YouTube channel. Okay, so with that, when people go to Google and they're Googling about Avon, whatever it may be, because I'm out there so much with the YouTube videos and everything, I found out that my name comes up normally in the top 5 or 10 that are out there. Surprisingly, I didn't know that until I was told. And here in the last 2 or 3 weeks, because so many people are watching my YouTube videos and, on Facebook and this and that and sharing it, I have gotten 2 online signups from Texas. Remember, I live in Maryland. 2 from Texas, 1 from Arizona, and we just got 1 from South Carolina last night. And I specifically always ask people that I know I haven't come in contact with, how did you find out? How did you find me? Now, you know that I leave brochures everywhere. And going to Hawaii, I left brochures on the plane, hid them in the little magazines that they have on there, left them in the bathrooms on the back of the door in there. We got a sign up from that, somebody who was out of town, which is great. But the more you put your name out there, there's a lot of, if you're a recruiter, if you are in leadership, and they have a lot of free advertising like free job employment things. And do I know which ones they are right now? No, but I use them. You go on, free employment ads, job opportunities, whatever it may be, where you can actually put them on for free. And then what happens is the more somebody clicks on something in this technology world that we have out there now, when somebody's Googling or they go to Bing or whatever it may be, you're going to pop up. So my deal to you is use Facebook. Do you realize that if you have 400 friends and one of your 400 friends likes something or comments on something, that you put the new mascara on there and they've commented on it, now their friends can see what they commented on, and oh my gosh, before you know it, this person may want an Avon rep and want that mascara. It's nothing. It's like your business. It's not going to do this. Oh, I've decided to do it. Bang! And it's going to be huge. That's not going to happen. This is something that growth is slow like everything else. I was really seeing nothing from everything that I do. And now all of a sudden it has been some of the most beneficial things I do. I am always putting my site, if you go into these other rooms, sometimes it's not about Avon rooms. It's about being an entrepreneur, people starting small businesses. There's all kinds of groups out there. Look them up. Search for them on Facebook. Become a part of them. Moms who own their own business, moms who work from home, whatever it may be, because they allow them to put their sites on there. So the more things that you can get your name, get your site on, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, so that's my suggestion for you. Heather Murray, mwah, girl. To get the SEUL, who do you work with to be your first EUL? More than one, or target just one person at a time? What if the one who says she wants EUL is still only UL? Do you keep with her or switch horses mid-race? I hear you, Heather. Okay. Again, I'm going to tell you what my answer is to this. I can tell you that I've had, before the EUL that I have now, there were a couple who should have been EULs. Something happened, life happened, they weren't. Okay. What you're going to hear from me, you may not hear from some other SEULs. That's okay, because you got to take the way that works best for you, that is good for you to run your business, and the way that you work best with people, and you pick what works for you, Heather. Never get yourself in a mindset that you think that only one thing works. This person's successful in here, that's the only thing that works. Not true. There are all kinds of ways. SEUL is there, and we have lines and guidelines of what we have to do, what our sales need to be, how many unit leaders do we have to have, what do they have to do to perform. Those are the rules that never change. But how to get there, girl, there are so many different ways that people get there. Some fast, some slow, some in between. For somebody who says that they want EUL, that's a big thing right there. They say they want EUL. What are they doing to help get themselves to EUL? I have a lot of people who say all the right things still on my team. They have all the right words. If I just close my eyes and listen to them, oh my gosh, I know they want it, okay? But the point is, I have to watch what they do and look, not just for 3 days after they talk to me and tell me that they want it. This has to be consistent. I need to see them out there bringing in new recruits. I need to see their sales business growing. I need to know that they are out there working their business just like me, if not more than me. Okay? So how do I do this? Look, when people decide that they want to go into the leadership part of it, I do all I can to try to take them out one-on-one, give them these videos that I do, the whole 9 yards, showing them how to walk and talk with the brochure and the Avon opportunity, okay? Because in my opinion, anybody can be a unit leader, okay? It may not be easy to always hold on to it, but anybody can be a unit leader, and a lot of people are lifers because that's what they choose to be. It's okay. You can be. There's nothing wrong with that. When I am working with somebody who steadfastly I know and taking them to EUL, they have 80% of my attention. 80% of what I do, I work with them and their team. Yes, I'm still the mama to everybody else. Yes, I'm still watching them. And you know what? Number one, if you're unit leader and you've been unit leader for 5 years, what the heck, man? What's going on? You got a unit leader underneath you that's been a unit leader for 5 years. And I'm not talking about up, down, up, down. Just been a unit leader. She's a lifer. She has to show me. Don't make the mistake of listening to what everybody says, people. Okay? Don't. Because people are going to tell you whatever it takes. And then there's this deal where, you hear people say, how do you inspire your unit leaders to get out there and work or to put their orders in? I don't inspire them to do crap. Look, either you got a need for money and you want to get out there and you want to be self-sufficient, no boss, and I've given you everything that you need to get out there and do it, even the opportunity to work with me, but you always have an excuse not to do it, forget that. I don't need that crap. I don't need anybody that bad, and neither do you, Heather, okay? Even if that means taking somebody else who's broken off once and enough, is soaking up everything that you have to give them like a sponge and putting it into action. Action is the key to any title movement. People talking about it or making excuses. Look, you can either get it done or you can make excuses. You can't do both. Okay, so my suggestion to you, so not to lose your mind, I know that you've got kids and this and that, so the point is, I would say to you that you want to work with everybody, but when you have somebody you're like, that's my ear. Well, you know what? If they're a unit leader now, don't jump and think EUL. Heather, you need to watch them during the journey, okay? If they're trying to get their U on and be a unit leader, hey, that's great. You want them to do that. But the next thing that you have to see what they accomplish and help be there for them if that's needed is then they need to get their A on. Okay? They need to make advanced unit leader. Nobody jumps from unit leader to executive unit leader. It doesn't happen. Everybody has to hit that in-between stage. Okay? So my deal would be watch them as they walk. Watch their walk. Make sure that they are walking what they're talking, or else you are just wasting your time. Okay? I would tell you that. Okay, next one. God, I turned 50 and my tail can't see nothing now. Okay, let's try something else. Says, okay, another question. If I get a contact request email from my site and they sign up on my site, I'm assuming you mean as a customer, but they don't order and they just send me an email saying I want to order products, is it a scam? 9.5 times out of 10, it is a scam. Let me tell you why. You get a name, you get an email address, and you get, I want to order products. Guys, Avon gives them the opportunity to fill out everything. Their name, their address, their phone number, so you can see, are they somebody local to you? And they can select that, I want to order products. The point is, people who truly want to order products, unless they're putting their own note in there that says, I'd like to receive a brochure or something, the point is, they can order from your website right then. Why do they just need to tell you they want to order products? Now, all of them, even though I know that 9.5 out of 10 of them are scammers, a lot of times what I will do is just send back in an email. I will say, how can I help you, with my signature on it? And let me tell you how you got them. The next email you get back, there's always a story. There's always a story. Hi, we're coming down here from a modeling company. Oh my gosh, I had to leave suddenly and my sister was sick, and so now I'm going to be in your area and I want to send you a cashier's check, or I want to give you a credit card number. Guys, we got over 500,000 representatives in every state out there. So this person's in California and you're living in New Hampshire, and they're seriously going to contact you in New Hampshire because they just happen to be coming through and they want to order products from you? No. Don't get excited when you see that. Don't give it too much effort. Don't keep going. These people who keep going back and forth with them on email, I mean, it's okay if you just need that laugh. Why are you wasting your time? Quit wasting your time. Once you realize they got some stupid story and they're interested in scamming you, that's all they're interested in, then cut it off. Tell them, I always say, I don't even say anything. That's the truth. Once I get the story, I never even respond. I delete it. I go into my customer list and I delete them from my customer list. That's what I do. Because no matter what we do, we're not going to catch them. And as soon as we get one person off, there's 3 more there who are trying to scam somebody. Leaders. I love this question because this should be one of the first things when your new representatives get on the site and make a website for themselves, okay, through Avon. You should be warning them about this. Do not wait for them to read it on youravon.com. There is so much on youravon.com to read. Are you kidding me? They're going to miss that. Warn people. I remember as a new representative getting one of the first ones of those and thinking to myself, oh, I'm so excited. Somebody else, they're coming. You just want to believe the stories. As crazy as I look at them now and they seem, you got to warn them. Sometimes a representative's excitement will override their smarts and what their gut's telling them. So I believe it is a leader. Whether you're a unit leader, it doesn't matter who you need to warn your team members that this can happen. And I always say, whenever you're in doubt, send that email to me. Once you've reached out, if you're not sure, send it to me before you do anything. And once they get the whole gist of what it is, then you're never going to have to tell them again. So yeah, definitely a scam. Okay. Rochelle right now is on an Alaskan cruise. Senior executive unit leader did not get to go to Alaska with us last year because there was some crazy thing about not enough rooms. So right now she is so funny. How do you get your hair to stay in place? My big hair. Can you believe it? That is a family secret, Rochelle, and you are not getting that secret. So tough. Okay, but your real question is, actually, how do you guide a new team member who quits before they ever start? Okay, Rochelle, you're a senior executive unit leader, and I know where this question comes from because you believe that because this is happening to you, that you just might be the only one out there it's happening to. How do you guide a new team member who quits before they ever start? Well, my deal would be, why are they quitting? A lot of times they quit, Rochelle, because they don't even realize what they're getting into. Everybody equates when you're going to work, okay, that you're going to get paid an hourly wage for an hour's worth of work, okay? That's not how it is with Avon. With Avon, it's how many customers you get, what they buy, commissions. You know how this works. Not everybody's cut out for this business. So my deal would be this. If you've got somebody who says, oh man, this just isn't for me, I always ask, why do you feel like this isn't for you? I don't know, because, I have to go out and get customers. It's not like Avon's giving me the customers or anything. And I'm like, really? You're right. It probably isn't for you. Look, building a business, what we do is easy. Share the book, get the orders, order the product, get the orders in, collect the money, pay Avon, rest is ours. What we do is easy, okay? But you're building a business doing this. You have to work. You have to get out and talk to people. Avon isn't going to just hand everything to you in your lap, and they're not supposed to. Sometimes you just have to let go, Rochelle, and say, this just isn't for everybody. Now, if this is an issue because of Avon not getting products to people or things like that, well, we all know about those issues, and we're trying real hard to stay on Avon and yelling and screaming and putting frying pans upside their head, saying it needs to be different. You need to get those products, especially to our new representatives. We have to show them the money. But, a lot of times that's really not what it is. It's just that they're just not cut out for it. So I feel like sometimes you just got to let them go, because if you are scared of work, and if you're one of those people like I used to work with Target, who come in and they get paid an hourly wage, but when they just decide they don't want to work, they go act like they're doing something. They still get paid, but they don't get anything done, which is technically ripping off somebody. You don't need to waste your time on them. That's what I tell you about that. Okay? Let's see what else we have. Valerie Burrell, love me some Valerie. What skills or leadership abilities do you look for in your EUL to be a key to SEUL besides sales and unit leaders is the superstar to partner with? Yes. And that's exactly what, what, Valerie, you really answered your own question right there. What skills or leadership abilities do you look for in your EUL? Valerie, I turn this around on you. If you are an EUL and you are looking for an EUL, what qualities do you have, girlfriend? What do you have? Staying power, never giving up, when you're knocked down, brushing yourself off, and sometimes you don't even have time to brush yourself off. You get back up, get off your ass, and you get out there and you go after it again. You build a sales business because you know that you have to lead by example. I look for people, seek out people on my team who are getting the job done, who are getting it done every campaign. Not every other campaign, not every third campaign. They are getting it done. I look for somebody who they are serious about this business, and not because they tell me they are, because they're doing it. If I've got somebody who is new and they're working and they're constantly telling me they're working towards President's Club and I can see it, $200 orders, $300 orders, $400 orders. Oh, there's a $700 order. Okay, we're back to $500. Oh, $500, $600 order. Oh my gosh, that person is showing me something. They're showing me that they know how to share the brochure and to bring in the orders. And then you've got somebody who has no problem talking to anybody, or somehow or other they are bringing people in. It has to be a never give up attitude. To me, that's number one. You have to find somebody who wants what you want as much as you want, or more than you want. Somebody you can work with who you need to find your next you. I can remember Marianne always saying to me, I need to find another Molly. That's what I need to find. And when we look at ourselves sometimes, I'm like, yeah, well, I'd like to find a Molly. My executive's Linda Staggers. I'd like to find not just one of her. I'd like to find 3 or 4 more of her. They are our diamonds, Valerie. Our diamonds. You're going to find your diamond. If you have not, sometimes we think we have, because remember, diamonds start with a lump of coal. And we've talked about this before. I have written about it on Facebook. How sometimes they're there and they're right under our nose, but they're not ready yet. They are developing. Maybe they need some self-confidence. Maybe they need to see what they can really do and what they can't do. And maybe it all starts with sales. To me, everything starts with sales. Everything in this Avon business starts with sales. If you're not selling the product, and if you aren't selling a lot of the product, then I have to wonder just how good of an executive can you be, or a senior for that matter. Because we're a direct sales company, and somebody that I work with needs to move the product. That's the truth. But besides that, you got to have somebody who likes people. They have to love to be around people 95% of the time. I love people. Why do I do these YouTube videos? Because I love people, and I think everybody has the right and can have the will to succeed. I can put it in their hands. I can put it in front of them. I can do the YouTube videos for them. I can do conference calls for them. But what they do with it after that is up to them. I give a lot of my team homework. When they say they're serious about something and I'm having the big meeting because they want to move forward in their business, my deal is, okay, I'm giving you XYZ. Look, we're going to meet again in 2 campaigns, and I want you to have 2 recruits by then, 2 new recruits in your first gen, and I want to see your orders increase by $100 between now and then. Now, that's all doable. In 2 campaigns, that's all doable. That's a month. And I asked them, do you think you can do that? Oh, yeah, I think I can do that. Okay, we're going to meet back on this day, and we're going to see just exactly what you got done. Okay, so the point is, maybe call them out on that. Look, you want me to work with you. Look, I'm not going to give you executive. This is a lot of hard work. You know how I know? I'm there. Senior, you think I'm going to give you your S? Man, I fought, crawled, scrubbed floors, cried, quit 50 million times, hated life. I know what I went through to get my ass on. And it was not easy. So I'll be daggone if I'm going to hand it to somebody with all my hard work. So I would say to you, if you don't have somebody who owns the discipline that you do and has the work ethic that you do, and they are willing to work around anything. They don't care what happens. They are going to get it done because that's what they want. They want to get their E on. They want to be an executive. They want to make the money that you're making. Somebody who's going to show you that instead of talking about it, they're your next executive. Okay, let's see here. What words of encouragement do you give your downline members when they're thinking about quitting? This comes from Sharon. Sharon, look, this all goes back to what we've been talking about in these other questions. I don't feel like my words of encouragement are going to keep somebody in this business. I believe that what God has blessed me with communicating and sharing my story and things that have happened in my life and things that continue to happen in my life. I share that because sometimes people think when stuff like that happens that they just have, they just don't work their business. They just, Avon goes on the back burner, that you can't get through it. What I share, the encouragement that I share, what I put on my group, I share my heart, because when I find something, I don't go, oh my gosh, that's just such a good saying. Look, if I can't feel it, if I can't eat it, if I can't think it, if I don't think that I know where I can apply that to my life, then it doesn't go on my Onward wall or my personal Facebook wall. It doesn't. So I would say to you that when I can identify with somebody on my team who's having a hard time, their kids have been sick, somebody died, whatever it may be, believe me, there ain't much I haven't been through in this Avon career. I absolutely let them know I feel their pain. I feel their pain. I understand where they're coming from. And I like to refer back to, this is what I love about Avon. When these things happen, Avon, I can work Avon around it. I can step back a little bit if I need to. I can move forward if I need my sanity, and that's the only thing I can drive forward with, okay? So I would tell you, whenever you're speaking to your team, don't speak Avon talk. Speak from your heart. Because if there's anything that you can say that's going to encourage them to keep going on, this is where you're going to find it. That and the knowledge of what you've already gone through, okay? So don't sell yourself short. And if you feel absolutely just drained and you can't do it, just send them to my YouTube videos, girl. I'll take care of it for you. No problem. Okay? So remember to speak from your heart and speak from your own experiences and listen to them. But listening to them does not mean that you let them have the excuse of not doing it. This is their decision. This is their decision whether they're going to continue in this business, and there's nothing we can do to make them stay. And by the way, for a $10 opportunity to have $1 million business eventually, I don't need to be making anybody want to stay. You don't want to be here, you don't want to work hard for it, see ya. There's a bunch of people out there waiting, and I'm going to be there when they knock at the door, okay? All right, let's see here. Bum, ba, bum, bum. How do you manage sales and leadership? I just do. That comes from Angela. Angela, manage sales and leadership. You know what? My sales always came first in the beginning. Absolutely, they always came first. Look, without sales, I didn't have money to do anything. My customers still to this day are my heart. The money that comes in from my customers now, or what helps me pay for my events and order more books and whatever it may be, a good portion of that $50,000 a year that I sell and what I make off of that goes towards that kind of stuff. Buying stuff for my team, incentive stuff, whatever it may be, gifts for them. Balancing it, leadership is something that has to be worked every single day. Okay, this is how I feel. Leadership is part of something that has to be worked every day, and you need to figure out how to work it into your life every single day. Sales, just come. If you're working the leadership part of this, and that's something that you want, you're always going to get more customers than you get leaders. Always. It's just how it rolls. So, do I take care of my customers? I do. The orders are easy. Look, guys, don't make it to where you got to be on the phone all the time with your customers. My recording says, customers, you can leave your order on the phone. If you want me to call you back, that's fine. I can call you back or send me an email, whatever it may be. I keep that simple. Remember, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, keep it simple, sweetie, whatever you want to say. The key to this thing, especially when leadership is involved, is to keep your sales stuff, keep that simple. I have 2 days that I deliver the brochures that I deliver personally. Campaign Mailer has made life a lot simpler for me. VoiceShot.com has made life a lot simpler because I don't have to sit there and call every customer anymore. Lisa Wilbur used to say to me, Molly, if you are making more right now than that job that you're doing, that media, like calling the customers, if you could pay somebody to do that, which would lighten your load to go do other things that are more important, then you should be doing it. Took me a while to get that. Took me a few years. I heard her, but I wasn't listening. Okay? So you have to do that. Getting your books in already. You know what? Bring somebody in according to how many books you get ready for your regular customers. Pay somebody to do it. Have your kids help you, whatever it may be. The point is, there is a healthy balance there, and sometimes it can get behind. Sometimes the whole lagging thing with the customers and orders, I can get behind that. But my residual income, my leadership, that is where my big money is. That is where my 401k is. That is what has the possibility of getting bigger. Look, I love my customers. I love my sales. But guys, 25 years from now, when I'm 75, I don't want to be running around taking care of, I have to make 3 times, I have to have 600 customers, 800 customers in order to make the money I'm making in leadership. I don't want to do that. I love selling. I love taking care of my customers. But I want money coming in that's residual, that's from other people's work, not from my work. So the majority of my stuff goes into my leadership. But if you're trying to recruit, and if you're going out there and you're giving out books and everything with recruiting flyers in it, you're always going to get ratio 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Lately, 25 to 1. I get 25 customers for every 1 recruit that I get sometimes, okay? So you have to make this work around your life. Don't make it harder than it is. You can work Avon around anything in your life. That is the sweet spot in this business. Making this thing work around your life. What I may do for me may not work for you in your business, but you need to figure out what days are best for you to work on your books, what days are best for you to deliver your orders, and set yourself a schedule, girl. Your appointments that people need, you can do in between it, but stuff you can control, like when you put your order in, when you unpack your order, when you pack your order up, when you're delivering to your customers, that stuff you can put on your calendar, and it can be the same time every campaign. And that's what helped me. My customer thing that I do with all my personal sales, that is set on a schedule. I do it the same time all the time unless there's something else major that comes up. That way all my appointments that I get for sign-offs, working with my team, doing my emails, all of that can be worked around. But your customers are something you can set up and get it done. So don't make it harder than it is, okay? All right. Here you see, I took these questions, everybody having their own little conversation during the questions. I find it hard to make deliveries with 3 kids in tow. Were your kids younger, how did you manage? How can I ask some customers who live out of town to pick up at my house? I feel rude, pushy, asking. I feel like it's my job to deliver. What's your take on that? Diana, I hear you. When I started Avon, my youngest was 10 years old, and my oldest was 17. Okay, so I was in that mid-range. Let me tell you something about customers. You don't know if you don't ask. It's like everything else in your life. When I started asking, when I started being honest, things started changing for me. It's kind of like, remember you saw, for those of you who were on the call, I think it was, you were not the call, but the last video, that on the back of my brochures, it says Express Service Online. There is a reason for that, and I got that from Pam Heller. There's a reason for that. It has my name, it has my 800 number, and it says Express Service Online, and then it has my web address. Number one, a lot of people are turned on to my web address. Why? Because I just said you can get express service if you go here, so they can get their products faster. I have customers who live all over the place, and they come to my house and pick up their order. I leave a big bin in the front. I put their orders in on the day they're saying they're going to come get it, and they leave their money in the bin, or they pay by credit card over, the phone, whatever it may be with me. The point is this. You don't know if you don't ask. And by the way, those people who come pick up their order, I tell them, knock $1 off your order. Right now with gas prices, you could say, knock $2 off your order. You can make it anything you want. I say $1 off their order. If you pick up your order and your order's $32.33, then you're going to pay $31.33. Just knock $1 off because I appreciate you picking up your order. The other way I would adjust to do this with your kids is get people to leave the payments. I do that all the time. Matter of fact, 98% of my customers leave their payments, even when they're home. I don't make it as if I'm going to go in. Look, you can't do that when you got your kids and all. I know Avon's the company 80 years ago who you went in and you sat down, you did your thing, and some people still want that. And when you can, that's great. But I tell them, could you please leave a payment on the door, in the door, under the mat, whatever it may be, write out the check, put the money in there, put it in their thing, give me your credit card, I'll keep it on file, whatever it may be, we'll get this done. Look, you have to run this business around your life, not your life around your business. If you don't start making some necessary changes for that, you are going to think this doesn't work for you. And the truth of the matter is you haven't tried to make it work for you. You've tried just to make it work for your customers or make it work for your downline or no. Your life, we are independent sales representatives, and we can run this part of the business how it works for us. Take the stress off yourself. If you give the customers the option, well, you know what, I'm not going to be in that area there with your order until this day will be the soonest I can do it. But if you think you're going to be in the area, or you would like to come, or meet me here halfway at this point, I do that too. If you're going to meet me somewhere halfway, then knock $1 off your order. Be more than happy to do that. Why not? It saves you the stress of saying, I can't do this, I got my kids, what am I going to do, blah, blah, blah. You have got to make it fit. And it's not going to fit unless you ask them. They don't know. They don't read minds. They are not part of the psychic network. So you need to put it out to them, okay? All right, let's see here. I'm looking at my time here to see what we have. Okay, let's see. Let's get a couple of more in here. When you're out prospecting for representatives, what do you say? Immediately after, hello, my name is. I've tried several things, and they are not working very well. How do you capture someone's attention to share the dream with them? Please share. Okay, number one, it's not up to me to share my dream. It's up to me to figure out what their dream is, okay? And let me tell you something else. 90% of the time, it's just that they need extra money right now. Do you all understand why we offer the Avon opportunity? Because normally you have to build, and then you have money coming in. With Avon, right away, it reminds me of waitressing. I used to love waitressing. A lot of hard work, but I used to love it because I would get paid tips, and I would have tips every single night when I did that, okay? So, this is right now money. What do I say? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a fan of going into parking lots and stalking the people getting out of their cars who are trying to go into the grocery store. It's just not my thing, okay? When I am someplace like a Panera Bread or someplace like that, unless I have a table set up somewhere. And if I have a table set up somewhere, that's different because I'm advertising Avon. They know what I'm doing. But I'm not a fan of people walking up on me doing that, which is why I don't do it to people because I don't like it. Personal feelings on that. And for those of you who do, go with it. If it's working for you, go with it. I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you in my journey, don't like it. Don't like it, okay? So, but let's just, I do general conversation stuff. You know how it is. You're, over in the produce department and someone's kid's doing something. You're kind of laughing, she's adorable, blah, 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 blah. And, what size clothes does she wear? She's 12 months, blah, blah, blah. And then I will immediately say, have you seen an Avon brochure lately? Avon, yeah. And I said, are you aware that we have a baby line, a toddler line? It's called Tiny Tilia, one of a kind. No. I mean, immediately, look, they're drawn into the conversation because it's not threatening, okay? And immediately I'm pulling out that brochure. Number one, always be prepared. Pulling out the brochure, swing to it, look at some of the stuff they have. They got the toys, they got the shoes, and look, as they're growing, look how it's based on a storybook type situation. Love that. So I would say to you that when there's always a way to bring Avon into anything. And look, there's nothing wrong when you're in a conversation with somebody just simply to say, do you have an Avon representative, or have you seen an Avon brochure lately? There are people out there, especially managers and maybe people from corporate and other people, who will tell you not to lead with the brochure. I'm going to tell you this right now. Take it from me. I am an SEUL because I lead with the brochure. The brochure is my in to almost everybody. Unless they're already looking, like taking my number off my car or picking up my book somewhere with the recruiting flyer or whatever it may be, unless they're already just seeking me out, my end to them, my foot in the door is the Avon brochure. That is the truth. Okay? So my deal would be to you, don't make it too hard. Okay? Don't overthink it. Don't think, how am I going to get to that person's why? Don't think about that right away. The why is going to come, but it doesn't mean that you're going to jump on it. Somebody can be looking at the brochure I'm sharing with them and go, man, I can't believe how Avon's changed. I don't ever remember seeing all this stuff in here, the clothes and the shoes. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. I'm an Avon representative. And, when I first started Avon, it was putting an additional $100 to $300 in my pocket every 2 weeks. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And, and then this is where I bring in my story. I think the thing that turned me on to Avon was I didn't have to have parties, so I didn't have to lose my friends and family. There were no quotas, and I didn't have to buy stock. I didn't have to buy stuff that I didn't want. And so that really, really got me, but I really needed the extra money, and there wasn't a time frame for it. So for $10, and they went, $10? It's all it was? Yeah, it's still, it's at $10. $10 to try it. I'm getting discounts on everything myself. I'm sharing with the people that I know, and I'm making a commission off what I sell. It's so cool to make that additional income to put towards my kids' sports, or if we want to go somewhere, or I want to take them out to dinner, or I have a special birthday party to go to. That's what my Avon business has allowed me to do. Let me ask you, if I could show you how to make an additional $200 to $300 a month even, would that interest you without changing your life? That you could keep living life how you do? Now, some people are going to say, no, I'm not asking them to sign up. I'm saying, if I could share with you how I was able to do this and I didn't have to change my life. Sometimes you have to quit worrying about the verbiage, and you just got to learn how to talk to people. I like the old saying. I heard one of my reps says this all the time. They say to me, Molly, I never meet a stranger. Everyone's my friend. I believe when you're an Avon representative, I believe that should be your motto. Everybody's your friend. Because when everybody's your friend, you would share the good stuff with your friends. And look, you're going to have people who say no. You know what? Matter of fact, most people are probably going to say no. But what's really great is you could say, okay, you don't need it. That's cool. But would you like to continue to get an Avon brochure? Our brochures come out every 2 weeks, hundreds of new products. Would you be interested in that? Because I would love to be your Avon representative. And if you would just leave me your name and number here, I'm going to let you take this brochure with you. I'm going to check back with you before I put my order in, see if there's anything you want. If you don't, it's cool, but then I can continue to bring you brochures every campaign. I'm telling you, 99% of the people say okay. They do. It's about presentation, guys. Everybody should be your friend. Don't look at somebody and go, oh my gosh, okay, I'm looking at them. I'm trying to figure them out right now. How should I present this? How can I find their why? Are you crazy? You don't know these people. They don't want to tell you their why. You haven't established a bond with them yet. The why comes with the bond. Unless you got somebody who wants to talk so much they don't know how to shut up and they'll tell you anything. And then do you really want them on your team? Who knows? So I am telling you, don't make it so much about the words. How do you get them? Share your story. Share the brochure. Listen to them when they talk and find something they're talking about. Oh, are you a full-time mom? Do you get to stay home with your kids? No, I've got to work. I wish I could. It's always been one of my dreams to stay home with my kids, but you know how it is. It's a two-income world these days. Ha! Yes, it is. What if I could show you how to make that easier so that maybe eventually you could do exactly what you want to do there. You have found their why. Beep, beep, beep. One of their whys. You just got to listen. Got to listen to what they say, okay? So don't make it harder than it is. Talk to people. But talk to them like you're their friend. Like you care. And you're ready to listen to them. That is going to make all the difference in the world in your recruiting skills and your representative skills and serving your customers also, okay? What are we looking at time-wise? Just a couple of minutes here. Okay, so Somebody was asking about advertising for representatives in local newspapers. I'm here to tell you, I used to do a lot of advertising when I first got big into leadership and really decided it's what I wanted. And there was a time when I felt like that really worked. And I don't feel like with the expense it is to advertise in newspapers that it works very much anymore. Okay? I'm not telling you not to do it. Now, I do some online advertising now in my area locally, and I get hits off of it, and that's great. So I would tell you, don't ever put yourself in the red, especially if you're a new representative. Find yourself a cheaper advertising thing, but you're going to have to give it time. You can't put it in there for 1 week and then say, oh, it didn't work, it didn't bring me anything. I tell people that find something that's affordable that you can put yourself into for 3 to 6 months, because people like to see something in there time and time again, and they'll see it and they'll go over it, and they'll see it and they'll go over it, and they'll see it and they'll go over it, and then they'll see it. Oof. Then they'll see it. Okay? So if you're going to do advertising, advertising doesn't work when you're hit or miss just putting it in there. You have to be in there. You have to be committed. So before you do advertising like that, if it's going to cost you, make sure that you have the money roll for it. Okay? That's what I have to say about that one. Sandy Zanko, how does one learn to listen better to others? Learning who they are, what their why is, and how we can help them. Well, we just talked about that, Sandy. And again, I will tell you, if your approach is treat everybody like they're a friend, you don't know any strangers, and you truly do open up your ears without your own agenda attached, you're going to figure out how to offer them the opportunity and the brochure as a customer when you remove your own agenda of what you want to get out of it, and you listen to them and you be a friend. Even if it's an acquaintance type friend, be a friend, okay? I live in a division that has never had an SEUL, and only after nesting have we had our first 2 ever EULs. One of them were at risk. All the towns are smaller, far apart, farmland, and how would you suggest someone in this type of geography increase their leadership business to the point of SEUL? This comes from Bradley. Excuse me. Bradley, I would tell you plain and simple, get out of your own zip code. If you want to be an SEUL, rarely is somebody going to become an SEUL by staying in their own town, staying in their own city block. I get that it may be a rural area, but I'm telling you, then take a day trip, go somewhere, plan, have brochures, have recruiting flyers. Let me tell you something. I don't live in a rural area, but we are so overrun with representatives in our area that I had no choice but to go to neighboring counties, and sometimes 4 counties around. You all hear me all the time talk about being in Delaware. I went to a whole nother state. I'm in Maryland. I go to Virginia, Pennsylvania, whatever it may be. The point is, it doesn't have to be all the time, but you're going to have to get out of your own backyard, so to speak. You want SEUL, then you're going to have to do things that other people won't do. That is the definition of being a senior executive unit leader. You have to do what most won't in order to have what most don't have. That is the secret to this. When you want to get your S on, you have to be willing to do what others won't. And if that means you want to be the first SEUL in your area, that means you're going to have to go out of your area in order to obtain your S where you live. I could sugarcoat it, tell you to go tell people have a bunch of babies, wait 18 years, sign them up. Ain't going to work, bud. Okay? You're going to have to get out of your own backyard. And I hear, executives all the time talk about doing that. They grab a couple of people on their downline, they go make it a day trip, they go somewhere, and all day long they know where they're going to go. They ain't coming back till the books, the recruiting flyers are out. They set up tables, they do free Avoning from the trunk of their vehicle. They are out there getting it done outside of what they do. So again, want to get your S on? Then you're going to have to do what other people won't do. That's the only thing. You want to know why out of 500,000 representatives, there is only 200 and some SEULs? No, it's not because they lucked into it. It's because they worked their ass off more than anybody else did, and they were willing to get out of their comfort zone almost every single day. They were willing to say, "Oop, I was wrong. I shouldn't do that." They picked themselves up, brushed themselves off, wiped the tears away, and got back out there, and they did it again. Brother, it is a cruel world out there, and there are a lot more people out there waiting for you to tell them about the opportunity, waiting for you to share Avon with them. They are waiting for you, Bradley, and if you want to get your S on, and anybody else who is watching this video, and you want to become the best of the best in leadership and get your S on, then you're going to have to work longer hours, you're going to have to work smarter, you're going to have to work further away. You're going to have to make sacrifices, because that is the name of the game. But when all that is said and done, ask me if it's worth it. Oh, yeah, it is worth it. Everything about it is worth it. No matter what Avon does to piss us off, what bad decisions they can make from time to time, how a bad district manager is, what this rep over here did or didn't do, it doesn't matter. So Bradley, I believe in you. I think you can do it. Do you believe you can do it? And let's go a step further. Are you willing to do what it takes? I think you are, but it doesn't matter what I think. So we are going to stop there. And, again, oh my gosh, I must still have 70 questions here. But I think this is enough for you all to absorb, to look at it again and say, what am I going to do? How do people manage their customers and leadership too? How do people do this and they have kids? How do people do this when you ain't got nothing but a bunch of cows and tall grass living around you? What do you do when people get discouraged? How do you encourage people? How do you find your next EUL or your first EUL? Guys, it's a journey. You hear me say it all the time. Remember the tattoo on my foot? It's the journey. Onward. There's no quick answer or no quick fix to any of these questions here, except the scam thing, okay? That's the only easy question the night y'all gave me. Y'all give me some hard dang questions. You make me think. But that's good, because I'm just one perspective on this whole SEUL thing, and I don't have all the answers for you, and I may not have all the answers that are going to make your business better, but I want you to know that my heart and my mind are in the right place. I do not play, I do not sugarcoat, because when you do that, I keep you further away from that dream, from that goal that you want. Somebody patting you on the back, telling you it's going to be okay. Just take a deep breath. Now, you can take a deep breath, but then you better exhale and you better get back to work. Because that's what this takes. It takes believing in yourself and your dreams. It takes seeing what you want on a board, on a dream board every day, sharing it with everybody. And when somebody laughs at you or scoffs at you or thinks that you're crazy or, really Molly lipstick, you know what? You need to figure out how to turn that around and use that to drive you. If you're a unit leader, you need to get your A on. And if you are a President's Club member, you need to become Honor Society. There is always something bigger for you to push for in this company. There is no such thing in this company as topping out. The top is wherever you decide the top is. How much money you want to make? Where do you want to be in this leadership thing? How many people do you want to help on their journey? That's my goal. I want to help as many people on their journey as I can. The list is endless of who we can help out there. The number is endless of how much money you can make. So I tell you, decide what you want, Review the answers to these questions, and if you're not happy with my answers, there are plenty of SEULs out there to ask. And executives too, or maybe just another unit leader. How are they doing it? These are not the answers with all of everything. This is one SEUL who is willing to share with you and wants to see your journey become complete and see you meet your goals. So it's been great spending another Friday night with you. We will be here with a conference call next week, and not sure what we're talking about yet, but I'm sure it'll come to me. So we will see you next Friday night on the conference call. I wish you many recruits, many customers. I hope you're looking at your dream boards every single day, or if you haven't made one, make one so that you have something to look at every day and review. Go out there. Don't forget, when you fall down, get back up. Remember our motto in the group, onward, no matter what. No matter what. Onward, folks. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Avon can help you make this happen, but Avon can't make it happen alone. They've got to have your participation because your success depends 100% on you. Okay? Talk to you later. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.